But there's a long tradition of these types of voices of conscience. So I just immersed myself in the world of St. Sabina and spent time with Father Mike and his peacekeepers and the community there and tried to learn as much as I could.
We love you on Windy City Live. Yes, we do. Tell us, how did all this happen? How did this come about?
Well, I play me. I play Val Warner in Chirac, which is really cool. So when people see this movie, they are literally seeing Val, and I am a reporter in the movie.
We talk about the violence, but what can we do personally?
I think we got to be engaged, and I think engaged in a number of things. In our block, in our home, in our neighborhood, we got to be engaged. We got to fight the issues. We got to fight a government that is abandoned, you know, whole communities on the south and the west side. We got to fight a governor who's cut out every youth employment program, who's cut out violence prevention programs, who's abandoned our communities and the poor and the vulnerable. And I think we got to reach out to our brothers on the street and love them and respect them and help them, not just demonize them.
My participation is only because of Mr. Spike Lee, our leader, our director, and he reached out to me and blessed me with the opportunity to be in this film and said that his mission was to save lives in the south side of Chicago.
I'll just say like this. First of all, give you the history of coming to Chicago and telling my jokes as a young cat. I'm 37 now. Started about almost 15 years ago. Elroy taking me under his wing, let me do some jokes here and there for the radio stations and all that kind of stuff.
We are more than that. We are more than that. We're greater than that. And I feel like in places like this, or Chicago, or whatever you want to call it, the hood, whatever you want to call it, like, it's too much attention dwelled on the negative.
I learned that no matter what you do and how much of a genuine heart you have, and if you're coming from a good place, people are going to criticize if they don't agree with what you're doing.
Hi, we're from Empire, and you're watching the Higher Learning Network.
So how long have you been standing here?
Not too long, like an hour. So we're moving in fast. This is a good sign.
Yo, what's up? It's your man, Tony Scofield from 106.3 Chicago's R&B, and you are watching Men on Higher Learning. Now, I used to hang around with some men that was into some higher learning. It just wasn't that kind of higher learning, but I got myself together now, okay?
What is it that you do in your quiet time, in your meditation time, that allows you to bring us the films that you do?
I sit courtside in Madison Square Garden, world's most famous arena.
And you're watching ZTV on the Higher Learning Network. Yeah, right.
Bring the brother up. Coming to the stage, my man, Elroy Smith.
Hey, use that mic, Smitty. Use that mic, Smitty. I want y'all to meet someone, or two people. This is Kiba Matthews, and this is Tish. About 2 weeks ago, they were listening to this radio station, GCI, and listeners were calling in saying, I don't know why people in New Orleans took forever to evacuate, and she is listening. She's from New Orleans. She calls the radio station. One of our technicians, Dion Walker, invites her to come to the radio station. This lady and her friend are two evacuees from New Orleans. And between the family of GCI and all of the people that they have met, they are being taken care of by Chicagoans. So Chicago, you deserve a round of applause. So Kiva has agreed to speak for a minute or so about her experience in Chicago.
Thank you, Chicago, first of all. This is Letitia, and you guys have, man, talk about you don't feel like you've left your family. That's how much Chicago has embraced us, and we appreciate it so much. We haven't, everything has been seamless from the time we made it to Chicago. We drove all night from Memphis. We didn't have a choice of what flight we were going to get on, so we had to get on the plane to Memphis, and we were there like, we don't know anybody in Memphis. So we graduated from Southern University, which we don't hear represented, but Southern University is definitely where we're finished at, and it is an HBCU with an extension in New Orleans, and that's where we come from. And Letitia's receiving her master's from Southern in psychology, and you guys have been a tremendous support for us. You've helped us keep going. Days have gotten hard, but you know, thanks to the family, our new family, WGCI, Chicago, everyone, everything's seamless, and we thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, we're here to introduce a real good friend of ours. I've been knowing him a long time, watched him grow musically, personally. He was our first Chicago Idol winner. For those who don't know, Jamie Foxx, we do a thing called the Chicago Idol spinoff. You know about spinoffs. Spinoffs for the American Idol, which was really, really huge. And he was our first Chicago Idol winner. And he had a song written and produced by Mr. Robert Kelly, R. Kelly.
This guy is so popular, he's now on tour as part of the Nips and Change Tour.
Nips and Change Tour is coming. Who's on that show, Joe?
We got Ursher Raymond,
yeah.
Ramonski Love,
yeah.
Maurice Mahan. All three of them take their shirt off on stage. That's why it's the Nips and Change Tour.
Glistening biceps.
Oh man, it's off the chain, y'all, for real.
So put your hands together and show a whole lot of love for our real good friend, the one and only Mr. Maurice Mahan.
Hey, Chicago, how you doing? That's the one. Good evening, how you all doing? First of all, it's a blessed to be here. I'd like to say, man, big ups to Mr. Elroy and Jamie Foxx for taking the time out to do this. I just want to do some encouraging words to those for the benefit of the New Orleans. Looking back on the whole situation for the last 2 weeks, it brought me back to my knees and say, God, I need you to do something for me so I can appreciate my life and we can appreciate everything that we take for granted. Lord, I need you to make a way as you have done so many times before. Throwing door and open door, I stretch my...
All of the victims that have been affected by Katrina. So, okay, don't, all right, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Miss Stephanie Parker a warm round of applause.
Thank you. It is a pleasure to do this for you. I'm honored. I'm such a fan. And I dedicate this to you.
Give it up for Stephanie Parker, my goodness.
One more.
Beautiful. Give it up again. My goodness, that's black for black. Look at all the talent black people got. Let me see. Stay where you are. Again, Miss Stephanie Parker. Wasn't that incredible? You know, Jamie Foxx needs to understand that we do it right for you in Chicago. Are you gathering that yet? Yeah, yes, I know that. Well, I've been coming here, what, 16 years, 15 years I've been coming down here, you know, so I really understand Chicago, and I appreciate just everything. This is a blessing, man. Well, we got some more presentations. Come on up. Dr. Rashida Sands, Director of the Center for Black Music Research at Columbia College, will present Jamie with a wonderful presentation. Hello, Doctor.
Hello. Thank you very much. I am the Executive Director of the Center for Black Music Research of Columbia College, Chicago, and I am pleased to acknowledge Mr. Jamie Foxx as the recipient of the Mike Alexandroff Award for contributions to contemporary American culture. Columbia's commitment to arts and culture and its recognition of the contributions made by peoples of all cultures is definitely reflected in its student body, its academic program, and its research units like the Center for Black Music Research. Music and the arts are reflections of the human spirit. They reflect a people's joys, pains, their struggles, and their triumphs. The arts are records of how people view the world and, more importantly, how they view their place in it. We recognize you, Mr. Foxx, for your accomplishments, your voice, and particularly in times like this, the work that you do to help all people recognize your place in the world. We congratulate you for all of your successes, and we are pleased to honor you as the recipient of the Mike Alexandroff Award for contributions to American culture. Presented at the seminar tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Okay, in order for a day to be proclaimed as somebody's day, we need permission from the person that runs this city. Okay, we just can't all of a sudden say today is Jamie Foxx Day and we go about our business. We had to call the mayor's office to get permission. So from the mayor's office, I want you to give a warm welcome to Mr. Lance Lewis.
Thank you. We want to thank GCI and V103 for having this great day. I think we all recognize Jamie's artistic talents, but Jamie has shown his heart by giving back to the Gulf State regions. We witnessed a natural disaster, Hurricane Katrina, and Jamie has taken upon himself to support the victims of that hurricane. We really appreciate it. So on behalf of Mayor Daley, the City of Chicago, all the beautiful people here, we proclaim September 17th, Saturday, Jamie Foxx Day in the City of Chicago. We want you to keep up the good work, keep up the great acting. We need more people like you to give back. We show our love and you give your love back. So thank you very much for all you've done.
So do what you can do, Jamie, if you can, and then we'll give you something really nice after this. If you want some backup singers, we have Stephanie, we have Maureen. Okay. Come on, Stephanie. Just know the hook. I have one too many drinks, whatever that is. Where's Stephanie? But it's all right. It's all right. Oh, it's all right. That's a brand new song. Drop it. We'll just sing to that. Turn that up. Turn that up. Turn that up. We're going to do it like this. Turn it up. Turn it up. Yeah. Come on, Chicago. Come on. Come on. Come on. Then every record became my favorite song. That's mine. And that is all that I remember. Put your hands up, 'cause I had one too many drinks. Oh, ooh, ooh. I ended up at the embassy. Oh, with this pretty little thing from Memphis, Tennessee. What was it? It was a one-night extravaganza. Put your hands up, shout out, come on. Put your hands up, WGCI. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Check it out. When I woke up last night's tapestry, baby girl was laying next to me. Shoes and G-strings scattered everywhere. I got just a check out my head, but I'm gonna pour a call from me a cash. See that we do it? I got hung over from all the drinks I had, and now I'm telling my story to you. Everything that I remember, yeah, 'cause I had one too many drinks. Don't sing behind me. I ended up at the embassy with this pretty little thing from Memphis, Tennessee. What was it? It was a one-night extravaganza last night in the hood. I had one too many drinks. Boom, boom. Ended up somewhere I didn't know. Boom. With this pretty little girl from Chicago. It was a one-night. It was a one-night. Oh, it was a one-night. Oh, it was a one-night. Oh, it was a one-night. It was a one-night. Oh, it was a one-night thing. Oh, it was a one-night. It was a one-night. Oh, it was a one-night. It was a one-night extravaganza. Put your hands together and get this on camera. It's a party up in this mother. Oh, I'm gonna do it like this. The roof is on fire. We can't sing the rest of that. We can't sing the rest of that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tommy. Thank you so much. I want to thank Elroy. I want to thank Elroy for supporting that song. It's the remix. It's the remix.
Hey, for Jamie, for you to do that on the spur of the moment.
Oh yeah, man, we're gonna keep on. I'm not gonna hate.
Before we do that, I want all of you to give a round of applause for the sponsor of today, Columbia College. Let's give Columbia. And then, as it was mentioned, or if it wasn't mentioned, I just want you guys to know that Jamie Foxx has been signed to J Records. J Records is a phenomenal record company. So I just want you to know that he enjoys singing. So whenever you do your concert, what city are you going to do it first in?
I'm gonna do it in Chicago, baby. Hey, and I want to do this before we get to presenting this party. I'm gonna take time to say thanks Chicago for everything. Now I kind of grew up coming here, doing jokes here, doing my music here. You guys have always accepted me. We did something great this past year with Ray Charles. We won an Oscar, and I want to share that with everybody here. We'll be talking about that tomorrow at the seminar on how the blueprint to win your Oscar. Your Oscar doesn't have to mean it doesn't mean that it has to be an acting Oscar, but whatever you want to do, whatever you want to achieve in life, you're gonna win your Oscar. I want to give props out too for my Chi-Town folks, Kanye West, who ushered me in. Kanye West has got the #1. We got the #1 single in the country right now. He also
Yeah, you know what? Hey, a lot of people don't know that that's you.
Yeah. So I want to give him shouts out, man. Like I said, the album is coming. It's gonna be hot. I got a lot of special guests on there, from Kanye to Twister. My man Twister. Got to give a shout out to my man Twister. And I'm just happy about it. And we're gonna start it right here in your city.
All right, so let's bring up Armando. I want you to give Armando a round of applause. He is the assistant program director and music director of V103. Come on, Armando. Miss Tiffany Green, who is the assistant program director, music director at GCI. Angela, our station manager. I think we're all set. We have a fantastic presentation, and then it is over. Listen to or check out what we're going to give Jamie now. And of course, we have Mr. Larry Howard, who is our promotions director, Echo, and everybody that coordinated today. Let's give them a round of applause, okay? Are y'all ready to see this? Courtesy of B103 and GCI. Expose it, baby. Look at that.
Man,
we'll let you see it in a minute.
That's beautiful. Look at this. It's incredible, man. That's incredible.
Yeah, so I'm going to turn it around so y'all can see it.
That's your city right there.
Yeah.
That's beautiful Chicago. Chi-Town. Big shout out to my boy Lamont Clayton. Chi-Town.
Here we go. Chicago, Illinois, presented by WGCI and B103 to Jamie Foxx in honor of your outstanding contributions to entertainment. Saturday, September 17th, year 2005. You stand next to that, brother. You stand next to that.
Chi-Town, baby. Goose Island, give me some shrimp. This is beautiful. Chi-Town. I just, like I want to say again, man, thank you so much. I want to give a brief, just to let you know what's going on in your world right now as far as black people. They've drawn the lines in the sand against you. They've said that you really don't matter. And what you have to do when they do you like that, because we've survived for a long time. And when you look out, I went down to Houston and I went down to Dallas. And those people are some of the strongest people you have ever met in your life. And I'm going to tell you, they drew the line in the sand on you. They said that you're not really worth a damn. But you know what's great about us? The folks that's got the money, the people like GCI, you know, the people like the Negro College Fund, NAACP, you say, we do amount to something. And the people that do have the money that are black have stepped up. And we're doing every single thing that we can in order to keep those people in our minds. Now what's going to happen is this. They're eventually going to turn those cameras off, because it's not going to be a hot story anymore. Eventually, they're not going to be heard from anymore. So what we have to do as black folks, we have to get together and stay on them. Because when Kanye West made this statement, now they're trying to use him as a scapegoat. We're not going to let that happen, because he's a friend of mine. Because they drew the lines in the sand on him and us. And the thing is this, if you're the president of the United States, that means the United States is your family. If I was the president of the United States and my family in Des Moines, or Idaho, or wherever was having a crisis, but there were no black faces there, I still got to go check on my family. They didn't come check on our family down there. They drew the lines in the sand on us. Now, this is what's going to happen. They're going to go down there and buy all that land up. And what they're counting on is that we don't support our own selves and try to get us back into that land. So I say, we start today. GCI is going to help, and everybody around the country is going to help to raise money for the next 3 or 4 or 5 years so we can go back and buy that land so we can get our people back in there. Now, when Hurricane Katrina hit, everybody was like, my goodness, how could this happen? I'm going to tell you how it can happen. Hurricane Katrina is a heart attack. But you don't have a heart attack, because I know you know some black folks, we have heart problems and everything like that. But you have symptoms first. The symptoms were the lack of education in New Orleans. The symptoms were the lack of job opportunities in New Orleans. So when you're a second or a third class citizen, in good times, in bad times, you're going to be a second or third, fourth class citizen, and what ends up is a lot of people dying on us. So all I'm saying is this, is that what you see on TV, these people aren't faking it. A lot of people are saying, oh, they're just doing it for the limelight. GCI is not faking it. This is real in our hearts, and we got to help ourselves, because if it was to happen in Chicago, the south side of Chicago, if it would have happened in LA, in a bad neighborhood, if it would have happened anywhere right now, at this moment, the same situation would happen. So what I'm saying is this, we got to quit looking to them, and we got to look to us, because we're the only ones going to be able to save us. All right? And lastly, I'm going to say this, that we did something absolutely fabulous last year. Some of you may not even know how great it is for a young African American to win an Oscar. You may not know what it is as far as that. Now this past year, everybody was like hoping and praying that Ray would do something special, and we did. And I'm gonna tell you something, it feels great to do it because we celebrated. It was for you, it was for all of us, and I want to be able to represent that. My manager's African American, his wife is African American, we got lawyers that's African American, we got accountants that's African American. It's to just let you know that you can do it, man. I
was fortunate enough to be able to run into a guy by the name of Keenan Ivory Rans, who had a show called In Living Color. When I showed up on the set, I thought I was in the wrong place because I didn't see no white people. And I was like, it can't be all these black people. What are all these black people doing here? And they was running the company, they was writing, they was producing, they was directing, they was doing all that. You don't see any of that. So he taught me, he said, Jamie, I'm gonna tell you something. You can take this to the bank. He said, as a black person in this country, he said, you can never do anything mediocre. You always have to be absolutely fantastic. That's the only way you're ever gonna be able to do something. This past year, we were all fantastic. As far as everybody in Ray Charles, as far as the support and everything like that. We'll talk about that tomorrow, but I'll just let you know they drew the lines in the sand on you, and I'm gonna stand with you, and we're gonna do something great, and we're gonna have fun too. We're gonna have a whole lot of fun. We're gonna make some money. We're gonna bring ourselves out. I'm just happy.